Hi there, my name is Michael Blanc. I'm on the board of UCSS. Early 2018, I visited Buliki and Buluya, the two communities that we're active in, and I just want to give you an eyewitness report of what I saw there. So when I was there 4 years ago, this was in 2014, it was the first visit I had there, but based on what I heard, there wasn't really too much outward difference. There was still, all I saw was straw huts, these mud round huts, and a lot of overgrown fields. And it was explained to me that it's just a lot of hopelessness that was there. One of the guys, so Spotley, he was one of the early adopters of what we trained him to do in UCSS, and he says, "Look, it's like this. I planted a banana tree and my neighbor stole it. I plant another banana tree and the drought kills it. And after a while of this going on for so long, you just stop trying." And there really wasn't any thought for the future, any kind of plans for the future. Families were just living for the day and hoping, I guess, that none of their children die of malaria. There was this culture of non-work. It's hard to explain, but for example, I saw all these men, and there's repeated images, photos I have, of men sitting around talking, and most of them drinking at all hours of the day, while the women and children, what little work there was being done, were out in the fields. Then there was another occasion where this well that we had drilled for the school was broken. It had been broken for the last 3 months. And they wanted us, UCSS, to fix the well, and Ronald insisted that it was their well, they needed to maintain it. And they didn't do it. They still walked 3 miles to the next closest well at that point. It was hard for me to fathom this. And 2 weeks after I had returned, one of the guys, so Spotley, you see here, was one of the early adopters. And 2 weeks later, I found out that he, in fact, did mobilize the community and took up a collection to fix that well. And that took 3.5 months to do. I remember there was this overgrown foundation. And I asked Ronald, "Hey, what happened here?" He goes, "Well, I would say white people came, a bunch of Westerners came, and started building the foundation of this church or house. I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been a church. And that was like 6 months ago. It was all overgrown." I said, "Well, what happened since then?" He goes, "Well, nothing." I said, "Why did nothing happen?" He goes, "People aren't willing to make bricks." Now, making bricks doesn't really cost any money. It's mud and water and a bunch of labor. So it's not a matter of money. It's a matter of actually putting the work into it. So it gives you an example of the work ethic that was there for 4 years ago, which was non-existent. It's again hard to fathom. I asked people, raise your hand if you want a house like that. And so Spotley had built a house, and everybody raised their hand. I said, "Why don't we just go out and make some bricks?" And no one wanted to go make bricks. That was kind of the feeling, the apathy, the hopelessness that I saw 4 years ago. Now, what I saw on this trip was quite a bit different. There were fields everywhere. Even right outside the mission house that was all overgrown, it was surrounded on 4 sides by not only fields, but people working that same day. I didn't see kids hanging around their compounds. I didn't see men hanging around their compounds drinking. I saw them all in the fields. Here's some examples of that right now. The other thing that struck me was there was houses everywhere, piles of bricks everywhere. So apparently what happened is when Spotley 4 years ago started making a house, his neighbors saw what he was doing was, "Man, I want that." And they started to do the same thing. They started making bricks. They started building houses. And apparently they started saving some of the resources to be able to afford roofs. That's the only thing. You see that roof right there is the only roof thing that costs money really is the roof. And I asked Ronald how long it would take someone to save up for that amount, and it takes about 4 or 5 years, which right around this time is when people must have clicked something in their minds and going, there is a tomorrow, there's hope for tomorrow. And they started making bricks. They started saving their resources. Now, the days of the broken well appear to have been over as well, because what I saw was on a couple of wells that we had just drilled, there was groups of people around each well who were finishing the building of the well. So we dug the well, but you have to put the casings in, then you have to attach this metal attachment. And the community was working on all of those wells. And that was amazing to see, because 4 years earlier, they wouldn't even fix a broken well that required a very small repair. Now, the transformation has been so drastic that it has not escaped the attention of local and federal officials, and Ronald has done a nice job of engaging them in this, like he did here for the school ceremony, where several of the local district officials came, as well as the Minister of Technology for all of Uganda, got so much attention that the morning of the ceremony, they sent a grader out, a road grader. And this road hasn't seen any kind of grading in years. When it used to look like this 4 years ago, now that same road looked like this. Not only that, but their closest electrical pole now is 1.1 kilometers away. Also a kilometer away is this cell phone tower, which means you can actually get cell service in Buliki, in the middle of nowhere, at the mission house. You can plot your GPS. You can get on the internet and do email. Now, Ronald has always insisted on self-sufficiency, helping the people become self-sufficient, which takes a long time. And sometimes we, as an American board, are frustrated by how slowly things move. I recently read a book, When Helping Hurts, and it was a painful read for me because it really describes what we do as Western people when we go into third world countries. We go over there, do a bunch of stuff, we'll build a church, feel really good about ourselves, and then go back home. And not only have we not affected any kind of change in the local culture, but we've actually harmed them. As the book explains, we've disempowered them. We have shown them that we are better than they are, that they can't live without us, that they're dependent on us, that they're not good enough and they can't help themselves. So not only do we not affect change in this way, we actually harm the local community. And after this visit, I'm just really, really proud at what we've done here, what Ronald has done here with the help of God, who has just unbelievably shown his grace in this area of transforming these people in such a permanent and drastic matter, that I am just really, really encouraged by what I saw, and really want to re-energize everyone watching this video that what we're doing here is really worthwhile, and that we truly are helping build God's kingdom. So I do invite you to continue to stay engaged, to continue to support us, and to find out more about UCSS, please go to ugandacss.org and find out how you can get involved.